Hello everyone, my name is Devans and this is my final project presentation for IE 590 on Hoshin Kanri policy deployment. For this project, I chose an industry that is very close to me, seed processing, and created a fictitious company called Farfield Agritech, a seed processing machine manufacturer. In this presentation, I will walk through how Hoshin Kanri is used to deploy strategy across the organization.
Before moving into the further project, here is a brief overview of the company designed for this project, Farfield Agritech. This industry is personally meaningful to me because my grandfather ran a seed processing business and I saw how heavily he depended on expensive machines imported from abroad. That experience inspired the concept behind Farfield Agritech, a future vision of a company capable of manufacturing world class seed processing machinery locally. Farfield Agritech operates in the post-processing equipment segment, producing machines that clean, grade, dry, sort, and package seeds for large-scale agriculture operations. The product portfolio spans the entire processing line, including pre-cleaners, seed graders, gravity separators, color and optical sorters, seed dryers, and packaging systems. The company serves seed processing plants, grain elevators, large farming cooperatives, food processors, export cleaning facilities, and grain traders requiring high purity certification. So, although Farfield is fictional for this assignment, it is grounded in real industry needs and aligned with long term vision shaped by personal experience.
This slide outlines the strategic foundation for Farfield Agritech, which is shown, as you can see on the slide, mission, vision, ambition, and success drivers for the companies are shown here, and this guide the company's direction. This slide shows the organization structure of Farfield Agritech and how leadership supports the strategic execution. At top, the president and the CEO, which sets the vision, long-term vision. Reporting to the CEO are six executive roles. The CEO, who oversees manufacturing, plant operations, and supply chain. CTO leads R&D, automation, and technology innovation. CFO ensures financial disciplines. CO drives sales, marketing, and customer satisfaction, and the director of the QHSE leads quality, safety, and environmental performance, which is central to this Hosan development. And the VP of HR supports the talent development and the culture. Together, this structure ensures clear ownership and cross-function alignment.
Now that the organizational structure is clear, the next step in Hoshin Kanri is defining how success is measured at the top of the organization. This slide shows the CEO level KPIs selected for the far field. These metrics reflect overall business health and directly align with the company's vision, mission, and strategic ambitions. At the financial level, revenue growth and EBITDA margin is used to measure the company's ability to grow profitably and sustain long-term competitiveness. Market share tracks the Farfetch Agritech position in the global seed processing machinery market. From an operational perspective, on-time delivery ensures customer commitments are met consistently, while cost of poor quality captures the financial impact of scrap, rework, warranty, and field failures, etc. Customer satisfaction index provides a direct voice of customer measures. Finally, safety and R&D investment and supplier on-time delivery ensures the company grows responsibly, protecting employees, investing in innovation, and maintaining a reliable supply base. Together, these KPIs form the foundation for policy deployment at the CEO level. They define what leadership cares about most and set clear targets that cascade into strategic priorities, action plans, and daily execution.
Once the CEO level KPIs are defined, the next Hossen step is to understand where the company stands relative to the best-in-class competitors. This benchmarking analysis compares the Farfield Agritech's current performance against industry leaders such as Buller, Cimbria, Oliver Manufacturing, Petcus, and others across several critical dimensions, including on-time delivery, cost of poor quality, market share, etc. There is a clear performance gap between Farfield and the industry leaders. For example, best-in-class companies consistently operate with OTD above 96% and COPQ below 2%, stronger supplier reliability, and significantly higher investment in technology and automation. These capabilities translate directly into faster growth, higher margins, and stronger customer loyalty. Importantly, these gaps are not weaknesses, they represent strategic opportunities. HK is specifically designed to address gaps like this by aligning leadership priorities, breakthrough objectives, and execution at every level of the organization. The remainder of this presentation will show how Farfield Agritech's Hoshin strategy directly targets these gaps and systematically drives the company towards the best-in-class performance. The next thing is to take an honest internal snapshot of performance, what is working well and what is not. Starting with what's going well. Farfield has a strong product technology foundation and diversified machinery portfolio that covers the full seed processing value chain. Financially, the company has a stable base with a healthy EBITDA margin that provides the capacity to invest in improvement. Customer satisfaction is solid with the CSI of 83, and there is a clear progress in building a stronger safety culture. In addition, the global manufacturing footprint positions the company well for future scale. At the same time, there are several critical challenges that must be addressed. On-time delivery is significantly below best-in-class levels, 82% compared to the 96% plus. Cost of poor quality remains high at 5%, including indicating operational inefficiencies and waste. Time to market for new product is slower than competitors. Supplier reliability is weak with the supplier OTD at 78%, and market share growth is lagging behind industry leaders. R&D investment is also lower than the best in class. So this contrast is important. Farfield is not a struggling company, but it is also not yet performing at its full potential. So this slide shows Farfield Agritech's matrix-based quality organization, where quality is both centrally governed and functionally embedded. At the enterprise level, the director of QHSE provides overall governance and alignment with the CEO, ensuring that quality objectives remain tied to business strategy, safety, and sustainability. From there, quality is deployed through a matrix structure. Each major function of manufacturing, supply chain, plant operations, customer service, R&D, robotics, and optical technology has a dedicated quality leader embedded directly within that department. These embedded quality leaders have a dual responsibility. Functionally, they work day to day with operations, engineering, and supply chain teams to prevent defects, improve capability, etc. At the same time, they are aligned through the central quality organization to ensure standardization, common metrics, and consistent problem solving. The site managers and the supplier quality engineers then drive execution at the plant and supplier level, while the compliance team ensures regulatory and customer requirements are met across the enterprise. This slide summarizes Farfield Agritech's quality strategy, which serves as the foundation for the Hoshin Kanri deployment that follows. At the top is the quality vision, where quality is the only standard. This reflects a deliberate choice. For Farfield, quality is not a differentiator or a metric. It is the baseline expectation. Every machine must consistently deliver speed, purity, reliability, safety, and long-term performance regardless of market or application. Supporting that is the quality mission, which focuses on embedding quality across the entire value chain from design and manufacturing to testing, logistics, and customer service. The goal is to prevent defects at the source, maintain global consistency, and build customer trust through performance rather than inspection. Below that are the five key quality pillars that operationalize this vision. First, build quality at the source, which with a zero defect mindset, quality leaders are embedded within each function, and tools like SPC, FMEA, and robust designs are used to prevent defects rather than detect them. Second, global standardization of quality management system. Third, supplier quality excellence. Supplier capability is strengthened through APQP, PPAP, and performance-based partnerships, reducing incoming defects and improving supplier reliability. Fourth is the customer-centric quality feedback loop, where field data and customer feedback are systematically fed back into the engineering and manufacturing to eliminate the root causes and reduce warranty costs. And finally, enabling innovation through quality. So quality is integrated early into R&D through DFQ and reliability engineering, allowing faster time to market without compromising performance. Together, these pillars translate the quality vision into executable strategy and directly feed into the objectives and priorities of the strategy. With the quality strategy defined, the next step is translating it into measurable performance. This slide shows the key quality KPIs used to monitor performance across manufacturing, suppliers, and the field. Process metrics like scrap, FEI, PPM, and CPK reflect internal stability, while audit, compliance, and corrective action timeliness ensures the governance and discipline. Supplier KPIs control incoming quality, and customer-facing metrics like warranty, returns, and downtime so real-world impact. While 14 KPIs provide full visibility, Hoshin Kanri focuses on the critical few. In the next slide, these KPIs are benchmarked against the best in class to identify priority improvement areas. This table benchmarks Fairfield's quality performance against best-in-class competitors across nearly every metric: scrapped, FPY, PPM, COPQ, and downtime. There is a clear gap driven by process instability, supplier variation, and weak corrective action closure. These gaps highlight exactly where focused quality interventions are required to move through toward best-in-class performance. This slide summarizes quality performance of the company. On the positive side, we have a strong central quality framework, improving safety performance, and early success with embedded quality leaders across functions. Customer feedback loops and supplier quality focus are also in place. However, key challenges remain as high scrap and rework, low FPY, elevated warranty and downtime, weak supplier quality, and slow corrective action closure. These gaps clearly indicate where focused quality action is required. Now that the gaps and the challenges are clear, this slide shows how Farfield translates strategy into execution using the Hoshin Kanri X metrics at CEO level. The most important principle to highlight here is the focus instead of chasing the trivial many initiatives. Leadership deliberately concentrate on the significant few that will move the businesses toward the best-in-class performance. I'll walk through the X matrix clockwise, starting from the bottom. The south of the matrix are the 5-year breakthrough objectives. This represent where the far field must be in long term, and they are intentionally benchmarked against the best-in-class industry targets, not internal comfort levels. This include increasing revenue from $300 million to $500 million, improving EBITDA margin from 16% to 25%, growing global market share from 18% to 30%, improving on-time delivery to 98%, and reducing cost of poor quality from 5% to less than 2% of sales. These are bold, outcome-based goals that define success 5 years out. Moving to the west side, of the matrix are the annual policy breakthroughs objectives. This represents what the CEO has selected as the critical moves for the current year that directly support the long-term breakthroughs. Rather than trying to improve everything, the focus is on narrow to specific annual improvements in COPQ, OTD, market share, EBITDA, and revenue growth. These annual targets act as in stepping stones toward the 5-year vision. At the North matrix, are the top-level strategic priorities that are these are the major initiative leadership believes will actually deliver the annual objective. Example includes implementing a lean transformation to improve productivity across all plants, implement a global on-time delivery improvement process, implement a supplier excellence program to improve supplier performance, and various events like implement a sales and marketing objective initiation, implement a digital operation program. So on the east side of the matrix are the measurable targets. This translates strategy into numbers that can be reviewed monthly and quarterly. Targets such as the revenue growth represents EBITDA improvement ranges, market share growth, OTD improvement, COPQ reduction, and supplier OTD improvements ensure that the progress is objectively tracked and not based on perception. Finally, in the far east column, accountability is made explicit. Each objective initiatives have named owners, clearly distinction between primary responsibility and the secondary responsibility with the field dots and the hollow circles, unfilled circles. So this ensures that ownership is not diluted. Every breakthrough has a leader accountable for results, while cross-functional support is clearly defined overall. This X matrix demonstrates how Farfield applies Hoshin Kanri to align long-term vision, annual priorities, strategic initiatives metrics, and people into one coherent system, ensuring that leadership energy is spent on vital few actions that drive breakthrough performance rather than being spread across the trivial many. So to give you an example, let's consider the revenue. So the revenue is from the south box is connected to west box from 5 year to if we break out into India, it gives it's like says we want to increase revenue by 10 percentage. So it connects to the north box with the top level strategies. So we have two of them. First one is to implement a new product development acceleration process. And then it connects to the east box so that how we measure that. So we get the revenue growth from 6 to 12 percentage. And who is responsible for that is the CTO, who is the primary black dot owner, who will be responsible. And the secondary will be the COO and the CFO. And so with the another black dot connected with the annual policy breakthrough objective for the revenue increase is the implementing the sales and the marketing optimization initiation. So that connects with the top level strategy, connects with the what target we want to improve is with the market share. And for that, who will be the responsible? We can see in the farthest box is the VP of Sales and Marketing will be the primary person to will be responsible, and then secondary will be the HR and Talent Management VP and the CFO. Now that we have seen the CEO level X metrics, this slide shows how the strategy is deployed to the second level, the quality function. This transition is one of the most important ideas in the HK. What you'll notice first is that the west box of the CEO X matrix become the south box here in the level 2 X matrix. In other words, the annual policy breakthrough objectives defined by the CEO are now taken as the given inputs for the quality organization. From those CEO level objectives, quality has intentionally selected only the quality related relevant breakthroughs, again applying the principle of the focusing on the vital few, not the trivial many. At the south of this matrix are the quality annual breakthrough objectives. This includes improving on-time delivery to 89 to 90, reducing COPQ from 5% to 4%, improve FPY from 89 to 94, and then reduce scrap rate from 4.8 to 3.5, and improving supplier quality from 1800 to 1000. These objectives are directly inherited from the CEO level and translated into outcomes that quality can materially influence. Moving to the west box side of the box matrix, which is the north box of the sea level, but some of them replaced with the quality related strategic plans. For example, strengthening the supplier quality management system, deploy process capability, etc. And moving to the north box of the matrix shows the second level strategic priorities that are specifically quality initiatives that will deliver those breakthroughs. Rather than generating quality activities, these are very targeted actions such as stabilizing CPK and SPC on critical processes, implementing error proofing, etc. So on the east side, the measurable target makes the improvement concrete and reviewable. This target defines what success looks like by the end of the year. For example, FE reaching 95%, scrap reduced to 3.5, COPQ lower to 4%, and etc. Finally, on the far east side of the matrix, we see the primary owners and the secondary owners, such as chief quality, site quality managers, supplier quality engineers, or etc. And secondary support identify where cross-function coordination is required. This ensures accountability is explicit and execution does not stall between functions. So this slide shows how the CEO level objectives are being tracked and reviewed in execution using a bowler chart. This is the CEO bowler chart showing mid-year performance through June against the key enterprise KPIs. I'll start with the jump off point and that represents last year's achieved performance versus the prior year target. If the achieved value was worse than target, it's shown red as we all know. So moving across the chart, each KPI shows monthly actual versus plan for January through June, green indicating which is meeting our expectations. At a high level, several important insights emerge. So revenue is slightly volatile month to month, but overall tracking ahead of plan identity, indicating healthy demand. EBITDA margin shows steady improvement but remains below the December target, signaling that the cost and efficiency improvements still need acceleration. Market share is growing gradually, but yet at the pace required to reach best-in-class levels. On-time delivery remains a concern with the performance fluctuating below 90% target, reinforcing the need for the global OTD improvement initiative. Cost of fuel quality, while improving, is still above the 4% year-end target, directly validating why COPQ reduction is a CA level breakthrough objective. The supplier OTD is consistently underperforming, which cascades into production instability and customer delivery risk. The purpose of this bowler chart is not to judge performance, is to focus leadership attention on gaps early, while there is still time in the year to course correct. These red signals directly inform the second level quality and operation action plans, which I walk through next. So the quality dashboard baller chart again reviewed at mid-year through June, while the CEO chart highlighted what is off track. This quality baller chart explains why those gaps exist and where quality is focusing its improvement efforts. Starting at the top, field machine downtime remains the above target at 22 hours IDD versus 20-hour goal. This aligns with the warranty and reliability issues seen earlier and confirms the need for stronger design and process robustness. Supplier quality PPM shows a clear improving trends from 1800 down to 1400 PPM. First pass yield is improving but remains below 95% target. Corrective action timeliness has improved but still inconsistent. Cost of poor quality is trending downwards from 5% towards 4.6%, but still above the 4% target. And the manufacturing scrap shows encouraging improvement in the last 2 months, dropping below 4%, but remains above the aggressive 3.5% year-end goal. This quality bollard chart serves as the control panel for the level 2 quality X metrics. After reviewing the mid-year quality bollard chart, multiple KPIs were off target. Applying the Hoshin principle of focusing on the vital few, scrap rate and COPQ clearly emerged as the highest leverage priorities. Pareto and the root cause analysis showed that the small number of recurring defects were driving most of the losses. Scrap was not isolated, it was directly impacting FPY, warranty, field reliability, and overall COPQ. Addressing scrap at the source enables cascading improvement across multiple quality KPIs, while COPQ captures the total business impact of poor quality. Therefore, these two KPIs were selected for the structured quality-led action planning. So here in as you can see action plan at the top, improvement priority is defined as to reduce the scrap by strengthening process capability, error proofing, and standardization discipline. The priority background ties directly back to the quality polar chart. Scrap has been trending between 4.6 to 4, consistently above plan. Root cause analysis identified three dominant drivers: the low CPK on critical process, weak or missing error proofing, and the outdated work instruction with inconsistent operator training. So the core objective is explicit and measurable. Said we need to reduce it by 1.3% total by December. So the table of the steps, action steps, or Kaizen event shows here that the first two actions are foundational training activities, operator training, and SPC basics. These are not very impactful. So basically zero immediate scrap impact. The next steps following actions such as CPK studies, control plan standardization, error proofing for top defect modes, and supplier inspection tightening are where measurable scrap reduction is achieved. Each action has a clear owner, plan timing, status, and quantified impact, reinforcing accountability. Overall, this action plan demonstrates how Hoshin Kanri moves from strategy to execution. Following the scrap reduction plan, the second focused action plan targets the cost of poor quality or COPQ. So COPQ was selected because it is the financial translation of quality performance. So root cause analysis showed that the COPQ at 5% is driven by four systematic issues: high scrapped on key processes, low FPY driving rework, slow corrective action closure, and supplier incoming variation. These factors compound costs rather than acting independently. The objective is to reduce the COPQ from 5% to 4% by December 2024. Since this is a mid-year review, the near-term focus through June and July is achieving approximately half of that reduction, or 0.5%. The action plan addresses COPQ at multiple leverage points: cost visibility, FPY improvement, elimination of repeat defects, supplier standardization, and stronger verification of corrective actions. Ownership is shared across quality, operations, and supplier quality, reinforcing that COPQ is a cross-functional responsibility. As of the July review, most actions planned through June are completed on target, and early improvements are already visible in FPY and rework trends. To conclude, this project was developed using the Hossain Kanri policy development framework, and the majority of concept, structure, and the methodology are grounded in the Professor Salim Samsar's lecture notes and course material from this class. Those lectures provided the foundation for the X-metric structure, the Bowler charts, the breakthrough objectives, and the disciplined linkage between strategy, metrics, and the action plans. This presentation brings those principles together in the context of the realistic manufacturing organization, translating theory into a practical end-to-end deployment model. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Thank you.